entrepreneurship has never been as popular as it is today. It's more popular today than it was last year. It's more popular last year than it was the year before.
You're looking for the overlap between what you love, what you're good at, what you can be paid for, and what the world needs.
So purpose, that defines why you do what you do and will always do, no matter what, come hell or high water. Okay?
Is there hunger near my city? Is there huge pollution? Is there unemployment? So what is a real acute need that is not being fulfilled?
Feasibility analysis, it's a study, it's the evaluation of a proposed idea, project, startup, company, whatever.
But if you instead craft a single, sharp nail that addresses a prioritized audience, deep pain, want, need, desire, aka a problem, that is when you penetrate the market deeply, efficiently, and effectively.
All of that in one product. And it just depends upon the lens that people are looking at that product through.
Because if we look from the inside out, we're taking a very narrow view.
When we set 10 goals, we get 3 of them done. When we set 3 goals, we tend to get 3 done, or 2 out of 3, and they are the right 3. So sometimes just having more really doesn't help us.
So when you are thinking about your innovation or your mock-up, you need to understand not only is it meeting a need for your consumer or your target audience, but what about it is different?
You know, people have always used branding. And here's some prime examples. Hieroglyphics, the ancient Egyptians used to tell a story with their visual language.
And then once you have a prototype where everything is kind of merged together and you're trying to see how those interfaces work, that's called a horizontal prototype. So vertical is testing individual components, horizontal is testing everything together.
We ran into this unique situation in that, you know, the hospitals were trying to get PPE. There were huge shortages.
A lot of people have been forced to shift into this very virtual space, which means that there is a lot more data being collected every single day because people are now interacting in almost a purely digital space.
So I'd like you to think about IP as a means to an end, not an end in itself. IP is really a business tool that helps you to accomplish things that are really important to your company.
So an asset is something that a business owns, and we got that right, that it uses to operate its business. So real quick in the chat, if people give me 1 or 2, just give me an example, a type of asset.
So how do you determine how much your company is worth? Valuation is really much more of an art than it is a science.
Consumers have a choice. Consumers are communicating directly back to the manufacturers and the distributors in the market what they want, and the distributors in market have to respond.
Community building, it is about a conversation. It is about adding value beyond your product or service. You add value through identity, you add value through connections, and that causes your brand to grow.
So the biggest piece of negotiation for convertible notes, always valuation caps, always discount rates. The numbers are sort of vary market to market, but they're highly negotiated. These are the most important metrics for investors, is how they make their money.
Our whole system is based on extrinsic motivation, which is, pressure, do this because I'm telling you to. Intrinsic motivation is curiosity, I'm motivated, I'm excited, right?
So what's really interesting about this framework is not only that it's a way to communicate connection, but also it's one of the few frameworks that shows differences in factual perception.
As much as I'm an entrepreneur, as much as I'm involved in many for-profit business, I really believe in engaging in the community and giving back to the community.
Impact investments are investments made with a strategic intent to generate positive, measurable social and environmental impact alongside a financial return.
Start a business, that's what I'd be doing. Create something crazy, fill a void, fill a need. It's literally, I don't think there's been a better time in history to start something.